Welcome to Business Q&A. Today we explore how electronic security systems are evolving from grudge purchases into powerful data-driven business enablers that reduce costs, mitigate risk and unlock new value. Joining me is Robert Falkner, the sales manager at iOCO SBT, to discuss how access control, CCTV and fire detection systems generate vast amounts of data that, when combined with analytics and AI, can do far more than just protect assets. Robert, welcome and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So what's the market attitude towards spending and allocating budgets for electronic security systems such as access control, CCTV and fire detection systems these days?
Typically, one would say that the world that we live in is a grudge purchase. These are all systems that people have to buy. They don't want to buy them. And so typically what happens is that, I guess minimum budgets allocated, we have to have this stuff. What's the cheapest way of doing it? And really what we're saying is that there's better ways of doing that and looking at it from a different perspective, as opposed to saying these things are just operating in isolation from each other.
Okay, so you mentioned smart command centers. Expand on that.
So if we look at the rate of change of technology, so many of the systems can now integrate into each other. And what that means is that instead of having a separate access control system and a CCTV camera system and a fire system, we can now combine all of these things. And we can centralize all of the functionality into what we call a single pane of glass. And so that means that you've now got the benefit of having all these separate systems in a central place, making it much easier for your facilities managers and your security people to manage that environment. And then of course it also leads into other opportunities that we can always discuss with our customers.
And one of the things you say in your conversations with clients is that this helps to reduce business risk. Expand on that.
So if you think about any company, there's all sorts of risks around us. There's obviously the physical risk and the threat of crime and all of those things that are coming into it. But there's health and safety risks. There's financial risks. There's all sorts of things. So if we look at our philosophy and we build on these kind of things, then by putting it all together, it's difficult to explain it in a short space of time, but we can definitely reduce the risk by simplifying all of these operations and providing meaningful information back to the business.
One of the aspects of this is your reference to data gold mines, and that very often the data and the content that you get from integrating systems like this provides you with data gold mines. What's that about?
If you think about CCTV cameras, a lot of factories, big office parks like the one we're sitting in now, there's hundreds of cameras. Those cameras are filming every single day and they're recording vast amounts of footage. Because it's traditionally only been held in the security space, all of that footage goes onto a server and nobody ever sees it. We're able to tap into the rest of our iOCO business in terms of the advent of technologies like AI, BI, Power BI, ClickSense, all of that kind of stuff. So all of a sudden we can extract all of this information. And then all of a sudden that becomes relevant for the marketing department. I mentioned health and safety earlier, so we can start to see trends in how people move around a building, dwell points, loitering, all of those kind of things. So all of a sudden we're expanding the use of all of this information and really giving our customers far more meaningful data with which to build on their businesses, improve marketing, sales, and ultimately improve safety and security inside the premises.
Robert, where does electronic security fit into the overall world of cyber risk mitigation now?
So that's an interesting point, and all of these systems, because of the evolution of the product sets, in the past they all used to run on their own network, as it were, and now everything is IP based. In other words, it plugs into the same network point as your computers and your data centers and your servers. And what most people don't understand is that if I buy a cheap product and I've got a CCTV camera outside my building, that's a network point, and I just have to have somebody that's reasonably tech savvy. I can plug that network point into a computer and I can gain access into your systems. And that means that I can steal your data and hack you. So it's very important to consider the cyber risk in any kind of decision you're going to make around investing in these technologies.
So, Robert, what would be your company's contribution then, or maybe value proposition to the market with regards to custom smart command centers? What is your value proposition?
We look at it from a holistic perspective. So have a conversation and we go on a journey with our customer. And really what we're saying is that instead of looking at it as individual components, that we want to build a single point of contact, and out of that you can extract all this meaningful data. And that means that budgets can be shared across different businesses, so the marketing department, the safety guys, the facility guys. And so all of a sudden you get a lot more bang for your buck, but it also means that you can invest in proper cybersecurity products, tier 1 products, and obviously things that can integrate. And that helps you to expand and ultimately reduce your total cost of ownership over a longer period of time.
Robert, iOCO is not the only player in this space. So at the end of the day, what is the differentiator for the customer, to say, all right, I go with your organization because, I think you've got the right stuff. Why iOCO for these products and services?
We're very focused on the value chain in terms of partnering with tier 1 companies globally. That means we have to be certified on those products. All our technicians go through exams and they have to qualify and they have to be certified. And because of that, we're able to offer a top-class solution. And then being part of the larger iOCO, which is a big technology company, we've got a large amount of software developers and other technological services and products. And by being able to integrate all of those things, we offer a larger value proposition than a lot of our competitors that are just focused in the electronic security space.
We're going to have to leave it there, Robert. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's an absolute pleasure. I enjoyed the chat.
That was Sales Manager at iOCO SBT, Robert Falkner. Stay tuned for more business insights.